First off, look at what YouTube used to look like. This is what it looked like. So I basically was like at the entry level of YouTube in its inception. White sunglasses, white board shorts, tan wetsuits. That is a very dumb statement. But what's up, y'all? Welcome back. I came across a gym on YouTube the other day. I actually was going on YouTube to upload my own YouTube video, and I saw a recommended video of myself from 2008. It was my debut profile piece, basically. Surfline was doing a series called First Take at the time, highlighting up-and-coming surfers. And I was 18 years old. I just had kind of my breakthrough year in Hawaii, and yeah, they did a profile video piece on me. And I started to watch this because I was like, oh, this would be cool, look. And after 30 seconds in, I was just like, this is so cringe. So naturally, I thought I should probably record myself reacting to how bad this is. More so the interviews. The surf footage is actually cool, and I'll be able to dive into that. So I stopped watching the movie and wanted to wait until I could film myself reacting to it. So here we are, almost 20 years later, watching my basically debut profile piece on Surfline. So let's pull it up real quick. Full screen this bad boy, and here we go. First take.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Surfline was way ahead of their time for this stuff, I think.
My name's Barley, 18 years old, from Buxton, North Carolina.
Okay, first off, baby voice. Second off, we just have to
My name's...
I have to acknowledge the white sunglasses. I don't know why. At the time, I thought they were cool. But coincidentally enough, my friend Cody Thompson ended up making his Instagram handle white sunglasses a few years later, just making fun of everybody that wore white sunglasses. And there's like a cliche of a person that wears white sunglasses. But I basically for years would always think back like, oh, was that guy.
Barley, 18 years old, from
Pretty
Buxton,
cool graphic
North
on the zoom in.
Carolina.
And I love that they use Bad Religion for pretty much the whole movie. I think the whole thing.
To be from the East Coast means that nobody knows who you are. There's not the
That's true.
exposure over here. There
Was
aren't more
true.
photographers, and the industry's not here, but it's getting better, and guys are blowing up more, so they're getting recognized for it.
Air reverse. Oh, this swell was actually sick. That was a really good swell. Alec Parker and Dane Gadauskas were in town. And then this is a lot of this is actually shot at S-turns, which
If I had to
doesn't even
choose,
break
like,
anymore.
what I was going to do for the rest of my life until I died, I would definitely go with surfing.
What are you gonna do till the rest of your life till you die? Surfing.
YouTube.com/SirBretley.
Okay, here we go. I was shouting out my YouTube channel in 2008. I made it in 2006. I basically was like at the entry level of YouTube in its inception. But the one thing that's funny, so it said being from the East Coast means that nobody knows who you are. I would say that was true. Nowadays with the internet, that's not totally true. But back then, the only way to get seen prior to like Surfline's digital age was magazines or movie parts. So if you weren't in those, no one would know who you were. Or unless you were winning amateur events, which I would final, but I wouldn't win. So magazines were huge for me. And then the internet was especially massive. So like that actually is a pretty rad statement to look back on and see how that's changed in the last 20 years. But what's really funny to me is how much I'm just like trying to be so cool. Just wait, I'm just like oozing like poor cool guy.
So this means that nobody knows who you are. There's not the,
That like I look at this clip.
there's not the
Oh, here, hold on.
nobody knows who you are.
I know I was filming myself here in a rocking chair in my yard, and I sent it to Surfline. I was like, they basically sent me a list of questions and I filmed myself. But man, with the sunglasses, white sunglasses on my head,
there's not the exposure.
and my body language, my tone, I was just so cool.
It's getting better. YouTube.com/SirBrett. I think I have like 40 something videos on there, all consisting
Baby Brett voice.
Surfing and lip syncing.
Now that's sick. So my YouTube, that's one thing, everything I've ever uploaded to YouTube is still on my YouTube channel. And so I was shouting out like my surf videos plus my lip sync stuff. And Surfline actually put like, first off, look at what YouTube used to look like. This is what it looked like, which is crazy. And yeah, all those videos are still there. I always believed that if I wanted to upload it, I should never delete it. Also, this is the era of O'Neal doing full body colored wetsuits. And I had one, this one was tan, which honestly did not look good. DJ Strunt sighting.
He's surfing really, really good. And
Jesse Hines, Surf and Spoon.
Watch how he's progressed in the last year or so. Just got some really good ways of pipe and stuff this year.
Okay, so this goes into my whole Hawaii section. I do know that. And to give you a backstory on the Hawaii section, I graduated high school early at 18 years old. It was like halfway through the final year, and I had done all my credits and courses and everything. So I graduated early and flew out to Hawaii 2 days later and spent almost a month out there, and it was bad. And then the last week I was there, we had nothing but west swell, and I just went into send mode, and that's what all this is that transpires here. But I was bad at surfing big waves. As you saw there, I just ate at bottom turning. This is all just like pipe stuff. I'm pretty sure all this was shot by Alex DeFilippo. Here's like second reef roll in. 18-year-old Brett finding second reef roll ins. And that's close out. That actually was like, that wave right there, I believe, was like my second wave ever at Big Pipe. The wave before that, I took off and someone burned me, and it wasn't that big. It wasn't like hollow or tall. And I paddled back out and waited, and I got this one. It didn't barrel, but it was the biggest wave I'd ever caught at the time, basically.
I was less scared paddling out at pipe when it was big than I am paddling out at home when it's like 10 foot.
Brett Barley.
That is a very dumb statement, but it makes some sense. Even at 20-foot pipeline, 20-foot faces, like triple overhead pipeline, there's a channel. It's still scary, but you kind of know you're going to get out. Now, at that point, I would say I was ignorant in that I had only surfed big west swell pipeline, which is way less intimidating than when it's northwest and Beach Park closing out. So I'd say I prematurely made that statement at 18 years old, but it was true. I surfed massive pipeline for a week, and I came home and was just like, it's so much scarier paddling out at home because there's no channel. You get swept down the beach. It's wild. But in hindsight, that was a very ignorant statement. Big pipe when it's not like flawless is terrifying.
Scared paddling out at pipe when it was big than I am paddling out at home when it's like 10 foot.
But when it's 10 foot here and thick and rushing current, you get flexed. You get so smoked. And it is scary. It's legit scary. Especially because you end up by yourself a lot. You're not in a pack.
Barley seems to
Alec Parker sighting.
The Outer Banks pretty well.
This is all shot by Bo Dempsey. Pretty much everything around home was shot by Bo Dempsey, local guy here. He was like the guy that filmed all of us surfing when we were younger.
If it's good here and it's good in Hawaii, like best day ever.
Off the wall.
I'd rather be here.
I still support that 100%. Oh my gosh. Lighthouse wave. Russell Blackwood actually filmed that one.
Goals, I want to do well in contests. I like doing events, and I just want to do well in the junior pros, make a final. Next year I want to qualify for the Worlds, but I don't know.
That's
take it step by
reasonable
step.
goals.
As long as I'm traveling and surfing, I'm psyched. So however it goes, I'm fine with it.
Okay. I would say that was like, looking back even almost 20 years ago, I would say that was a very smart statement. That was what I wanted to do. I liked competing at the time, was a lot bigger than it was years later as I aged, and found a new niche in surfing for myself. And so I think qualifying for the World Junior Champs definitely was my goal growing up. And in the back of my head, and when I was younger, I wanted to qualify and be on the CT. But at 18, I already knew that likely wasn't my path. And so I set like a small goal here. If I can do this, then maybe I'll think about this. So that's actually pretty cool to look back on. It's also interesting looking at my demeanor
However it goes.
Through this interview.
However it goes.
I think I started out like just maybe it was just the way I felt in doing a piece like this. This was new for me. That like it was a big deal to have a Surfline first take. And you can tell I'm like super cool in the beginning, and then I guess I turned into more of my normal self, still with the horrible white sunglasses though.
I'm fine with it.
From white sunglasses to white board shorts. That's pretty sick. Mark Beatty, still at Surfline. Yeah, Alex DeFilippo, Bo Dempsey, SK from O'Neill, Steve Kennedy. Also crazy that they got clearance on all those Bad Religion songs. That's pretty sick. But yeah, my Surfline first take. It's funny to look back on. It's pretty cool to look back on. Some of these waves in the beginning from home.
Many photographers.
Well, that's like a little right-hand south swell.
It's getting better, and guys are blowing up.
This
more,
Passion
so
Pop, that was
they're
at
getting
Lowers
recognized
when I was like 17.
They're getting recognized.
Passion Pops were super
Guys are
cool,
blowing up
thanks to
more,
Wade
so
Goodall.
They're getting recognized for it.
That's S-turns, all those S-turns. But yeah, it's cool to look back at some of that stuff. It's sad to look back at these lighthouse clips though, because you can't even film from that angle anymore. It doesn't even look like that. Nor is it ever like rippable anymore.
YouTube.com/surfer.
Like this day. This day was crazy. I remember I actually was flying out this day for Scotland for a contest. And I packed up and then took another suit and board and was able to score and get some waves before I went out. It was really good.
If it's good here and it's good in Hawaii, like best day ever.
But this wave, this pipe wave, was like, that's a bomb pipe wave for an 18-year-old East Coaster to find. But I had never taken off deep on a big wave like that and tried to knife a drop, and I was ahead of myself. I was trying to go sooner. I needed to let myself get to the bottom of the wave. I had caught waves that size, and I had like taken off deep on some that were slightly smaller, but it's hard to get a wave that big and clean at pipe. And when I remember taking off and I slid out, you see me start body surfing. I just basically was leaning too hard and caught my edge and flew forward. So I body surfed into the barrel. I wouldn't have made it anyway, so it didn't really matter, but pretty cool. And I basically rode like the same board. It was a 6.8 JC the whole time. It was either that or this 7.0, which was old board from Jesse Hines. They're both JCs. And yeah, this yellow board, I actually had a wave towards the end of that trip where I hit my head on the bottom and blacked out and could have drowned, but I didn't. So that's a story for another time. For now, Surfline first take, dorky Brett, white sunglasses, white board shorts, tan wetsuits, 18 years old. It's pretty cool, like, to think that, you know, this was the beginning. That year was the beginning, and so still doing it, and very grateful. And it's fun to look back and pick on things about yourself, and yeah, be grateful for the special moments. Man, our waves used to be better, in all honesty. Even just watching what was here, it's like, whatever. That's another story too. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed me laughing at myself and checking out the deep dive into my first take. And thank you to Surfline for doing that. That's pretty rad. So I'll I'll let y'all go from here. Have a good one. Also, how's this second jetty wave?
North Carolina.
Shooting across, the second jetty used to be like the next spot you would surf. If the lighthouse had bad wind, or if the sand wasn't quite right, the second jetty would be good. It hasn't broke. I haven't surfed off of it in like 8 years, 10 years. It's gone now. There's nothing there. It doesn't break. But you get really shallow off the tip there. Look at that thing. Double barrel. Whitewater Willie will scoot and tone me into that white barrel.
Nobody knows who you are. There's not the exposure over here.
Oh, good fun. Okay.
I just accelerate into oblivion.